Veritas. SCP Files. Episode 14. Safety First.
If this goes sideways, you're responsible for any and all deaths.
I'm responsible for deaths? That's not how that works. You want me to sign away 10 lives?
What's 10 lives in our line of work? Do you have any idea how dangerous this thing could be? You know what's at risk. We have to find out what this thing is. Fast.
Is the recording picking that up?
You say that about every new object or creature that shows up here.
And it will stay that way because it's always true.
I'd resolved to do my first walk into the main section of the facility, and I've barely gone down a single corridor.
We have no idea what it's capable of yet. It's our job to keep the staff and the entire world safe from it. What happens if it is Keter and escapes and creates an end-of-the-world scenario?
End of the world? It was defeated by a flare.
They're blocking the way further in.
How many civilians carry flares with them? Imagine what would happen if that's the only thing that actually gets rid of it.
Then that's something we should study, and it can be done without casualties.
We don't even have it in our containment yet.
I thought I'd
How
wait,
are we supposed
but
to
they just
study
won't
it?
stop. I
There's
mean,
nothing
it's
even
been
there
15
anymore.
minutes.
You had teams come over every inch of that warehouse. It's safe.
Then give me the people to go in and prove it.
Go yourself and be useful for a change.
I don't want to just push through them. I don't even know who the burly one is.
No, I won't waste my breath on that. But I'm not potentially wasting 10 lives either.
Should I go talk to them?
10 lives or potentially the entire world. Approve the project, damn you.
Absolutely not.
Hey, what's all the commotion? Are you two okay?
Yes.
I don't appreciate the interruption, Dr.
Scott Anderson. I'm not a researcher. I don't have a doctorate.
I see. Then what gives you the right to interrupt, Scott? My colleague and I were in the middle of an important conversation about safety protocols.
You've been at it for 15 minutes.
Oh, we've argued far longer than that before.
And I will continue to argue until you take your role seriously.
Are you joking? You're the one who...
I'm sure it's very important, but you don't really seem to be getting anywhere. So maybe I can help?
No.
Yes. Seriously? An outside perspective would be helpful.
Perhaps we can wait and ask your boyfriend when he returns. Niall knows what it means to make the difficult decisions necessary here. But you already knew that he'd agree with me, and it's why you're confronting me when he's not around. When he's here, you fall in line with whatever he says, blindly following like a sacrificial pawn. Or you send him to speak with me on your behalf. I can tell when it's your words spoken through his mouth.
Don't bring Niall into this.
I'm not allowed to? You do so constantly. When was the last time you faced me without him? Hypocrite.
This is crossing a line. You need to stop prying.
No. You need to do your job. I've made up my mind about this. If you won't authorize intensive testing, I will go over your head. I'm going to see Miranda, and she will be hearing about your incompetency.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
Is there anything I could...
No, it's fine. Is that your first time meeting him? He's always like that.
Yeah, I've been keeping to the office. Just been handling the incident reports.
Ah, well, that lovely bag of muscles and hot air was Seth, the chief security officer around here. If you ever walked the hallways, you'd have run into him by now. He's everywhere, always, and he's an eternal thorn in the side of the ethics department. As head of security, he has more power than any of us do. Even more than Miranda. I spend most of my days arguing with him and trying to roadblock his awful ideas. And in the end, he always just goes over my head. I'm not stopping, though. Someone has to stand up to him.
I see. What's this about 10 lives?
The unknown SCP in the warehouse. He's been sweeping the place and has found no signs of it. He's also set up infrared cameras, which have shown nothing. But to confirm it, he wants to lock 10 D-classes in there overnight to see if it reappears in the darkness.
Why does he need 10?
He figures if there are many, then some of them might survive the thing showing up again and can give a better report than I could. He didn't even consider arming them with flares just in case it does. He's more interested in that report.
He's really afraid of this thing, huh?
That's one way to look at it, I suppose.
I wasn't trying to take his side. I don't like the human cost either.
Glad to hear it.
And what he said about Niall, that's not fair either.
Yeah.
Do you know where Niall went?
No, he does this sometimes. Just up and leaves on some secret assignment. He always comes back, though. No need to worry.
I'm trying not to. You sound worried, though.
Yeah, I mean, of course I'm worried. I have no news of where he's gone, or what he's doing, and I know that he's not safe. But it's been this way for years. I'm getting used to it. What really irks me is that if I stray a single mile from the site, he panics and goes chasing after me, as though I have no experience or training. Even though with my security background I probably have more self-defense training than he does. But now he disappears for a week at a time and I'm just supposed to accept it as fine? It's just the secrecy and the hypocrisy that gets to me. I try to be open and honest with him. It would be nice to get that in return. It's not his fault. He's got a role to play at the Foundation, and I don't have the clearance to know what that role is. I know that's what's to blame, not Niall. But it's still frustrating, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I was going to look around the safe storage area, but if you'd rather I go back to the office and...
No. I'm sorry. Seth and I were being so loud and have delayed you enough. Go ahead, don't let me stop you anymore.
Okay. Are you going to be... alright?
Yeah. Yeah. Just fine. The arguing is more normal than you seem to realize. I should probably stay and write an email to Miranda, warning her she's got an angry Seth on the way. But I'm also not sure that you wandering the Hall of Safes alone would work out particularly well for anyone.
I don't plan on touching anything.
Good. Don't.
Uh, do you want to come with me?
Yeah, I guess. Is that okay with you?
I'd welcome the company. It's Merryweather, right?
Yeah. Or Meri, for short, if you'd prefer. Sorry. I guess I haven't been around the office much recently. I should have introduced myself before anything like that incident with the statue happened.
It's fine. Nice to talk with you properly.
Yeah. That was a weird first impression we got of each other, huh?
I'm getting used to the weirdness, honestly. I'm just glad everyone was alright after that.
I feel a little bad about 650 getting out and coming after you. We're still not entirely sure how that happened. The investigation into that statue is ongoing, and we thought we had eyes on it, but...
Not your fault, not your fault. In here?
Yeah, got your security badge?
Yes. I've never had to use it before.
Alright. Once again, the rule is don't touch anything unless I give you the go-ahead.
Absolutely. Well, this isn't what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I'm not sure.
Did you think the safes would just be sitting around in the open with no protection or safeguards whatsoever?
I guess? I think the word safe is tripping me up a little, you know?
I mean, some of them are just out, I suppose. That security door is a level 2 clearance to get in here, so it's not like they're unsecured. Most of the inanimate objects, though, are stored in these lockers. They're not exactly going to go anywhere. A few have their own rooms with minor additional containment procedures. But if an item is potentially useful, non-harmful, or even mostly non-harmful, then they're fine to be out in the open with written warnings. It's sufficient and doesn't cost a thing. Like, that one there is a good example. It isn't going anywhere, and the warning is sufficient to keep the incidents at bay. See? It all depends on the item.
Take no more than 2, please.
A warning you really ought to heed.
SCP-330. It looks like a bowl of candy.
That's because it is a bowl of candy. Here.
What are you doing?
Giving you candy.
Don't touch it!
It's fine, I only took one. Here.
Why? What? Do I eat it?
Sure. I mean, unless you have diabetes, I guess. It's candy. Do whatever you want with it.
Okay. I'll just hold on to it for now.
Suit yourself. I kinda want one for myself, though.
Stop reaching into the bowl!
It's fine, Scott. Calm down. I've only taken 2. It'll reset in 24 hours, and I can take more then if I want to.
Calm down. It's an SCP. What happens if you take more than 2 in under 24 hours?
Both of your hands are instantly severed at the wrists by an unknown cause.
What? So, if you touch it now,
I'm obviously not gonna do that. Here's the thing about the safes, Scott. They tend to play by a very rigid set of rules. This one literally tells you what you can and cannot do. Act as you are supposed to around them, and you're fine. Misstep, and you aren't. It isn't labeled safe because it's non-harmful. SCP-330 can be extremely harmful. It's safe because if you toe the line, it's not going to hurt you.
I think I understand. Follow the rules, and we'll be all right.
Around the safes, at least. Once you start entering Euclid and Keter territory, the lines get more blurred.
I see. Thank you for the lesson. I have a request. 2 requests, actually, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
1, could you please step away from the punitive candy bowl?
You sound just like Niall. Fine, fine.
2, I'm suddenly very curious about where the bowl came from.
Who knows where any of it comes from? We've discovered it one Halloween. Got a ton of calls about ritualistic dismemberment. I'm glad I wasn't on the retrieval team. They really messed it up. One officer grabbed the bowl and poured out the contents onto the ground. It didn't go well for anyone in the vicinity. If you're squeamish about me standing close to it, then do not go looking up the reports on its retrieval. Seriously.
So, nobody actually knows where it came from? It just appeared one Halloween?
Nobody knows how or why things become anomalous. Maybe it always had this anomalous property, and someone knew that and put it out for trick-or-treaters as a prank or as a punishment. Maybe the person genuinely didn't know and thought it was an ordinary bowl. Maybe the SCP just materialized out of thin air and for reasons we don't understand. There are reports of people just suddenly becoming anomalous, so why would that not happen to items too? There are reports of creatures just suddenly appearing and starting to kill. I don't know if asking how or why is useful here. There's just too much we don't understand. I think the only proper question is actually, how do we contain it? Because that really seems to be the only thing we can do. And it's the only way we save lives. So many people in the Foundation forget that that's what it's all about. Protecting and saving lives. I'd rather never fully understand an anomaly, but spare people suffering. Unfortunately, many of our higher-ups disagree with that.
That's not a very comforting thought.
The truth seldom is.
So, why is the bowl here at Site 2024? I thought this branch was for items that need updated containment policies.
The bowl was originally stored in Site 19 before the breach. Since the site was destroyed, however, we're housing many of the less dangerous items here. We're still trying to find a place to send it. But for now, it really isn't hurting anyone, and people sometimes take the free candy. Finding a permanent home for SCP-330 is very low on our list of priorities.
How many of these items are from Site 19?
A lot. Care to see the others?
Yeah, I'd like to. Let me just end this recording and start a fresh one.
Huh? You're recording this?
Yeah. Oh. I'm so sorry. I should have told you that. I am so sorry. It's not... I wasn't trying to... Miranda told me that... Oh no, I'm not a creep, I swear.
It's fine. I don't mind it. I'm just... Why are you recording this?
Miranda told me to. She says it's part of our professional and ethical responsibility to document everything. Conversations, observations on items, everything. I honestly didn't mean to record you without your permission. I am so sorry.
It's fine, Scott. If Miranda says record, then record. Whatever the big boss lady wants.
Okay. Thank you for understanding. I'll just switch this over real quick.
Vault Veritas SCP Files is a podcast inspired by the SCP Foundation. Safety First is based on SCP-330 by Dr. Kondraki from the SCP Wiki located at scpwiki.com/SCP-330. It is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike 3.0 unported license. This episode featured Justin Gellner as Scott Anderson and Cody W. as Meriwether Parker. It was written and edited by Leola Angel. We welcome comments. Please email us at vaultveritas@gmail.com. Visit our Facebook page. Join our Discord channel using the link in the episode description. Tweet us at Vault Veritas. Or if you'd like, visit our Patreon, listed as Vault Veritas SCP Files. Thanks for listening.